Good morning, everybody, and welcome into the number one Group of Five college football show of all time. This is the Group of Five guys, and our mission is to be the voice for the Group of Five football programs, the voice that the mainstream sports media absolutely refuses to be. We need your help to do that. Hit the follow button on all the social platforms at Group of Five guys. Go to YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, the Believe Network, wherever you get your best podcasts. Subscribe to the channel, leave a 5-star rating and a review. Most importantly, tell your family and friends all about us. On this episode, speaking of mainstream sports media, speaking of ratings, we're going to talk a little bit about that and how the media plays into the committee and who they actually want to be in the playoff, whether it's the best teams or not. We're going to talk about some clickbait and some other things that the media loves to do. We're going to recap some big ones in Conference USA last night. We're going to preview a couple big ones in Conference USA tonight and a Sun Belt game Thursday. Hope you enjoy the show. This is the Group of Five guys, and we are coming to you live.
They got Old Dominion week 3, and ODU is by no means a layup. Group of Five guys told me that, so that has to be true.
We looked at each other, we was like, Mike, the best place to be is a Group of Five. So I'm sitting here with the Group of Five guys, right?
Troy has won, it's been a winner, and it's a special place, so it's why you want the job.
But it's a ton of fun to watch a guy go to the NFL from a Nevada or a Colorado State or a Middle Tennessee or an App State, and fans follow that kid.
It was across there. You want to have this thing packed out, have the student section packed out, giving those guys hell on the sideline. I mean, that's part of it. I mean,
win or lose, like we're winning the tailgate.
There's no better place to be developed in this country than Boise State.
Jeff, what a YouTube TV multi-view I had going last night with, of course, the two Conference USA games. I had the Florida Panthers, Brad Marchand, back in Boston for the first time since being let go from the Bruins. Panthers get a big dub with a goal with 20 seconds left to win it. And I had some basketball on the other one. But this is the prime time for sports. I mean, this is it. This is when you get that. What do they call it? When you get all the sports in the same day. We're there. We are there, and we had some free football last night with a little bit of overtime. So naturally, the Deca Gray is needed a little more than usual on a Wednesday. So as you know, our partners over at Deca Gray Coffee, it's really good. I mean, phenomenal stuff. I drink my coffee black, and I'm not like one of these coffee guys, I used to be the guy that you could just whatever coffee, it all tastes the same, kind of like wine to me. But Deca Gray's damn good, and you can tell the difference. It's roast to order coffee. Go to the website decagray.com, put it in your cart, put in our promo code GOFG. They'll give you 10% off and free shipping. Again, roast to order. Once you click purchase, that's when they roast it. That's when they bag it, ship it directly to your doorstep. Also, 2 for 2 on a couple of builders in the Level Sports Discord last night. And I tailed one of Coach's NBA plays and hit on one of those too. So now I can only do prize picks here in the great state of Georgia, but able to hit on that. So you guys, we've been talking about it. The Levels Discord, you see the tweets, you see the reviews too. I mean, it's 5-star reviews across the board, just the interaction and the community itself. So make sure you check that out. Level Sports Picks. The link is in our bio on all the socials. Jeff, sometimes I want to do like emergency shows. Like if you
emergency press
Jeff
conference.
Like Jeff and I's days, like day to day, like we're working, we're doing stuff, and every once in a while something comes out and we can't wait for the show. So we got to call each other. And I wish we would record some of the calls because it's probably a little more language, probably a little more inappropriate, but it's a little more raw. It's a lot like Stu's right when he calls after a tough App State loss.
No.
Just it's a Jeff, do you see this? And then we both look at it together, and then it's just ranting and unleashing on some of these tweets and these personalities. So we got two things to talk about today before we get into the games. The first one is, these open coaching jobs, which I got a lot, obviously I'm biased. Jeff is biased. I got a lot to say about why you wouldn't want to go to a place like Florida or Penn State, but that's not the time. Today's not the time for this show. So I'll let Jeff. Mike Elko, the head coach at Texas A&M, actually had a really good quote, and I'll let Jeff play that, and then we'll get into this topic a little bit.
And then there's multiple national reports out that you're a possible candidate for the Penn State job. I'm just curious, your thoughts on that, how you handle your name being linked to that kind of job, and if that's something you even discuss with your players.
I don't discuss it with my players. I think it's absolutely hilarious how you guys cover coaches. I think 3 weeks ago I was getting fired. Now I'm getting hired. Now you don't want me to stay, but I'm leaving. Like, it's absolutely hilarious. It is a waste of brain space to spend any time talking or thinking about any of that stupidity.
I mean, that couldn't have been said in a better, more direct way than Coach Elko did. And this is what we need. We need coaches, players, administration that are going to hold these media members accountable. In this day and age, when you can just write and do and say, put on social media, like whatever you want, and then you have On3 and all these recruiting websites and all these transfer portal websites now that they get paid off of website clicks. So anytime they put out an article, whether it's 2 sentences, a paragraph, an entire blog, doesn't matter. As long as they get the click that sends that person to their website, they get money off of website traffic. So that's where you're getting a lot of these news organizations that are putting out just, this guy's, Express, we talked about Michael Elhada, quarterback for Hawaii. Mm-hmm. Well, he could garner this much money if he got in the portal. Nobody's talked to his agent. Nobody's talked to Micah. He's in the middle of having a great season in a Mountain West run, and you're putting that trash out because you want more clicks. So we got to start calling these idiotic reporters, these toe walkers who honestly probably never played a down of football, that just want the clicks and they want more followers. They want to grow their account. Like, we used to live in a day and age when integrity meant something. Working hard and doing it the right way meant something. And we've got completely away from that, whether it's day-to-day life, whether it's your job, whether it's raising your kids. Like, everybody wants a freaking shortcut. Nobody wants to pull up their bootstraps, work hard, and do it the right way. And quite frankly, I'm sick of it.
Well said, Jeff. And you're spot on. And if you dig down this rabbit hole a little bit more, even with these, it's I'm not naive to say that certain programs have a larger fan base. And so these are the same people that give a recruit a 5-star rating when he commits to X school and drop it to a 3 when he commits to Y school. And these tweets and these headlines about who's the favorite for a certain job, Penn State or Florida, well, these are two of the really big fan bases. So they do that. They cater to what those people want to see, because those people are the people that are paying the subscription to see where a bunch of 17-year-olds went on a college visit. Not typically in the Group of 5. That's why the Group of 5 message boards are free for the most part, and the P4 ones are not. And that's the same thing, because I can promise you this: the people that tweet those and that particular reporter in the mic, he just asked a question. I don't know what he wrote, and that's, be careful here, because we've made friends with some media folks on our journey here, but it's a big reason why people don't like media. They'll ask a question like that, and they'll get an answer, and then they'll get a headline and a article that totally twists it and spins it out of what the person said. And so, yeah, you're going to tweet about, oh, Mike Elko is going to be the favorite for this job. Well, Penn State fans are going to click that. Texas A&M fans are going to click that. And then, you brought up Alejado. That's the other part. See, I think the agents sort of leak those. It's like when a coach's agent leaks that coach is going to get offered by this school or by this program. And then next thing you know, Signetti gets a huge extension for a larger amount. A lot of that's what agents do. But again, for the players, it's, well, hold on now. I thought we weren't allowed to talk to anybody until they were in the portal. But now we're planting these seeds. And now if you're Alejado, you're like, oh, maybe I can't. Can I? Now what's he going to do? Does he go to Timmy Chang and say, I need more. I need this. I need that in the middle of the season. And now you got a distraction that does not need to be there. And, it's really, really unfortunate the way that, like, who says these guys are the candidates for certain jobs? These media people, they're also the ones saying that a coach is going to be fired before they get fired. I mean, this is my point about, I get it. The money's incredible. I get it. I'll go coach Florida for however many $1 million buyout and whatever. But like, this is an athletic director that had a meeting with a bunch of rich people, decided he was going to fire you, told all the rich people he was going to fire you, and then let you coach for another 2 weeks and then fired you. And everybody knew about it. Everybody knew it was coming. And you asked this guy to go coach for a program where everybody wants you fired, everybody thinks you are fired, but the AD hasn't looked you in the eye and told you you're fired yet. Same for Florida State now. It's like they're already talking about that job being open. Well, as far as I know, Jay Norvell is the only Norvell that's been fired. So, I mean, it's a shame. And then you expect people to perform with that happening in the background. You're giving them, coach, how do you deal with these distractions? I don't know, man. You're the one that made the distraction.
That's exactly right.
It's just unbelievable, man. And it sort of brings us to the next thing with our friends in the media. And let me find the tweet before I say it incorrectly here.
Well, Sprouse, if I could piggyback while you're looking that up.
Yeah, piggyback while I'm looking for that, Jeff.
Is all these stories and all these things that are made up, all it does is take the task at hand, which is winning football games and improving and getting better. It just deviates from that goal. And you've already seen Brian Kelly down at LSU. He's on the hot seat. He's going to be fired. Look at his counterpart at Notre Dame. All those are fair criticisms. Like, you can make those criticisms about his coaching record, about his coaching performance. That's all fair game to me. And you can mention the fact that he's not performing and maybe LSU, like, cool, whatever. Why do you have to say that John Sumrall should be the next coach of LSU? Yeah. Have you talked to John Sumrall? Because last I checked, he's just bagged 2 reporters that weren't at his press conference because LSU was playing at the same time. So, like, why? They're in the playoff hunt. They're in the American hunt. Why even throw his name out there? It's just ridiculous.
Yeah, and so sorry, I found this tweet, and this is Todd Furman, who, CBS Sports, some other things. This is what he tweeted, quote, "College football parity is great until we get USF versus Georgia Tech in the first round and nobody watches. Tell me I'm wrong and tell me I'm an elitist, but the ratings won't lie." Well, Todd, you are wrong. You are an elitist. And, it's crazy, Jeff. When I was 3 and 4 years old and I was running around with a football in the yard and I was dreaming about playing football, that's all I could think about was what the ratings were going to be. I didn't want to be on a championship team. I didn't want to play in big, important games. I was just worried. I was like, I hope that my team gets more eyes than the other team, because if the other team gets more eyes, then they probably deserve to be in the playoffs instead of us. What a joke. What an absolute joke. And my thing with this is, again, this is the reason, this is the foundation of what we're trying to do here with Group of Five guys, Jeff, is, well, they would watch if you didn't say crap like that. If all season long you were talking about South Florida and Georgia Tech like they're two of the best programs in the country and two of the best teams in the country, instead of these little, oh, hey, look how cute it is, Georgia Tech, right? Oh, Brent Key, yeah, he wasn't the flashy hire at Georgia Tech. And oh, South Florida, yeah, I mean, they have the upset, but they're not that good. And then you're going to say casuals won't watch. Well, of course they're not going to watch because they listen to you, and you're telling them all year long that this is not good football. It's not as good. It's these little, there's no way these little Thomas the train, Thomas the engine that could, they're not as good as the big brands and this and that. And what do ratings have to do with it anyway? I don't care if 0 people watch. They played an NBA Finals in Disney World with nobody there. I mean, still playing for a championship. And that mentality to me, man, it's so disgusting. It pisses me off more than anything when people do stuff like that. And the sad part about it is, to a degree, he's right, because if and when a matchup like that happens, ESPN it's going to be on the back burner. All their promotions, they'll be at that game at halftime, and they'll say, "Oh, up next at 3:30, we got Alabama versus so and so." That's what they'll do, and they'll make it look like they'll promote it as if it's a preseason or an appetizer. It's just a little, it's a week 0 game to get you to the real games, because those are the real playoff games. Knowing full and damn well, one of their big brands is going to get smoked, just like everybody else in every other playoff that we've had since 2014. Somebody's getting blown out. And that'll be the game that they say neither of those teams, if one of those teams doesn't win the whole thing, when they lose, they'll say, "Oh, see, this is why we knew they couldn't win 3 of these games. That's why they didn't belong." Anyway,
you know what that is, Sprouse? That mindset, that is the mindset of a NARP. That is what that is. That is somebody who has never competed for a playoff, for a championship, for a spelling bee in their entire life. And they just want to go ahead and crown a paper champion, and they're looking at all the wrong things. You said it perfectly. I don't care if there's 0 butts in the seats and there's 0 eyes on it. Sports was, why it got started, why you have competition. Like, the genesis of competition is to find who is the best, regardless of how they look, regardless of every other factor. It's settle it on the field. And you have to be honest about that. You can't just go in here and downgrade a team because of because the media plays the biggest role into who's watching that game. When is it broadcasted? How is it broadcasted? How is it advertised? Like, how you market that game, like, all of it goes. So it's just, these are the same people who control a lot of the eyeballs and the marketing behind it that are doing a poor job, that are treating it like it's less than, but then on the backside of it saying, "Oh, see, nobody watches these games." Well, it's like you were in control of it from the beginning.
Yep.
So sell it on the field, man. That's what we've been saying year in and year out. And you guys have a big responsibility, the people that are at Fox and CBS and ESPN. Like, I just think that they've missed the boat on covering sports and just being honest and having a little bit of integrity about what you're doing.
Well, Jeff, again, well said. And here's one more thing I have to add on it is, when you get those 2 teams in the playoffs, you know what else you're going to get at that time by these same folks is Yeah, Georgia Tech, they don't belong with the big boys. Oh, but also their coach is the favorite to land the Penn State job. Or, oh, but also Byron Brown could command $2 million. And so you're going to create more problems for these teams. It's the same thing. It's like, dude, with these jobs, when the Penn State job came open, the first thing they do is say, oh Signetti, Penn State. What? Indiana is in a much better, it's just they dismiss everybody that's not one of those 10 to 12 brands. They just absolutely dismiss. Indiana's got a top 2 team in the damn country. Georgia Tech's got a top 10, probably top 5 team in the country right now. And all we're talking about is how they won't get the ratings and why their coaches should go somewhere else, to which, by the way, the places they would go are complete dumpster fires. And yet every season we're going to hear about Penn State being in the top 10 every season. This is the year. Florida's got their guy this year. This is the year. Florida State, they're back this year. Here we go. And then as soon as it goes south, oh, this coach is gone. We need to fire this coach. And this other coach that's having success is the one that needs to go fix it. But yet, when it comes time for playoff, the coach that you want to go fix it is at a place that's winning, but that team's not good enough, though. Makes zero sense to me. Absolutely zero sense to me.
And if there's something that I know about and we know about for us personally is bad organizations, the Raiders, the Dolphins, like there's a reason why we hadn't won in almost 3 decades. And it's bad leadership. Who's pulling the strings? And when you compare that to college, it's like, why would a great coach, up and coming coach, and I get why they take it, number one, the money, life-changing generational wealth. I understand that piece. And the confidence in themselves that they can go and fix this. But you got to look at it. These teams haven't been close to a championship in a long time. And it's because the donors are the ones pulling strings. They're the puppet masters of the ADs, of the president. Why? Because they're the one giving millions of dollars. Do you want to go there? Is that a smart job? Like, sure, go for the money, but damn it, I can make 7-8 million here at a group of 5 school and win and make the playoffs and really try and make a push and do it the right way, rather than go to Florida or go to Penn State and have to deal with all that other nonsense and your daughter being, trash talked on social media and walking out. Like, come on, give me a break.
God, it is so frustrating, man. It is absolutely frustrating. The problem is, coaches are gonna go. They're gonna take these jobs, and there's a ton of them open. But we'll see what happens. Maybe we've sold it enough to keep people at certain places. Jeff, it's not. I wouldn't even call it life-changing money, though. Like, you're already making $1 million. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a certain point when it's like, yeah, I mean, what can you not do now that you could do if you were making that much? I mean, I guess that's where you get to Nick Saban's that got car dealerships and houses in every state and this and that.
Well, that's where if you're making that kind of money, you get a good, good financial advisor like our boy Chuck Carson, and then invest it in businesses, and then you turn that big check into even a bit more money. Make the money work for yourself.
Yeah. Can I say one last thing on this?
Do it. Then we got to talk some football.
Yeah, we got to talk about some games. We had some good ones last night. The other part about, let's say, Florida and Penn State in particular, and Florida State, if that comes open, and Auburn, if that comes open. These places, they're not as consistently successful as they think that they are. And so when you go there, like if you go to Florida, you're living in the shadow of Spurrier and Urban Meyer. And outside of those runs, it's not like I'll give it to Alabama, right? I mean, they just seem to be, and I really won't even give it to Alabama. It's just Nick Saban was there for a long time.
That's exactly right.
But they have like a blip on the radar where they have a really good coach and it all comes together and they win X amount of games, whether it's a championship or not. And their fans think that that's always been the case. It's like, not really, man. You're not. you're not as consistently good. So then you're going to go there and you're not going to be Steve Spurrier. You're not going to be Joe Paterno. You're not going to be Bobby Bowden. And so your leash is going to be awfully short because these rich people get all in their emotions and they're like, well, I remember when Bobby Bowden did this in 1976. And then it's like a totally different world. I don't know. Anyway,
Sprouse,
I'm done. Yeah,
last
what do you got?
last quick thing.
Go.
Tennessee is considered one of the best, programs in the country, biggest fan bases, biggest stadium, biggest donor base. Like, what's the goal of your program? Typically, the first goal, right? Conference championship.
Yeah.
You would say, you'd agree with that. You know, the last time Tennessee's won a conference championship?
I'm going to guess 1998.
You got it, pal. 30 years? 27 years? No, is that right? 27 years.
Hmm.
That's 3 decades.
I love how you threw a stray at Tennessee right there.
You
That
always
was great.
I'm always throwing strays at Tennessee.
I was checking that score and flipping to that game a little bit over the weekend, and I was like, Alabama, gets all the benefit more than anybody, but damn it, I don't need to see Tennessee beat them right now. I know most people probably across the country were rooting for Tennessee, and I was like, the last thing that I need in my life is all my Tennessee friends and family and this and that to be like, oh, we're back. The party. That's what they say. Party like it's 1998. T. Martin back on the roster. Anyway, Conference USA games. Jeff, I got to tell you what, man. Kennesaw State is certainly a contender, if not the favorite in Conference USA. I mean, I saw him a little bit live, and it was against Middle, so it was tough to judge. These guys got 2 quarterbacks, like for real. Not just we got 2, so we don't have any. They got 2 that can go. They got weapons. You've been talking about Coleman Bennett. I mean, they got some athletes. They play fast. They take shots down the field. Their quarterbacks both can run it. They both can throw it. They can run it with the running backs. Their defense flies around. I mean, they are clicking. And I think between them and Jacksonville State, this thing is, what a little rivalry, by the way. Kennesaw and Jacksonville, Alabama are very close proximity. And so I think we're in for a treat. And I am not only surprised, but I am so happy for Coach Mack and Kennesaw State, because that's a place that could get bad and stay bad pretty quick. And he's got that thing rolling.
He does. And you have to give Jerry Mack all the credit in the world coming in year one, bringing in some pieces, flipping the culture of this program around. I mean, there's no doubt he's got to be. I mean, I don't know. I mean, Conference USA, definitely coach of the year. I mean, to be in this position, looking, like they are offensively putting up points. Their defense is very good, very stingy. You mentioned multiple quarterbacks. You mentioned, all the talent they had on the outside. Gabriel Bernard, Coleman Bennett, Alexander Diggs had a big night last night. And it's not been the same person. Week in and week out, it's like somebody else steps up. And FIU, I felt like had a lot of momentum going into this game. It was Vice night. Everybody kind of was starting talking about FIU. No, Kennesaw State. We're just going to keep doing what we're doing. We're going to stay steady. We're going to play our brand of football. It's physical. It's fast. Man, the Owls are soaring. Shout out Jerry Mack.
Yeah, 100%. And FIU we talk about this with almost every game. There's 1 or 2 plays that shift the momentum, or that you have a chance to stay in it. And FIU had a chance, and they made a big deal out of it on the broadcast, and the coach was getting after him. But when Keyshawn Owens had a 3rd and 1, and he could have picked up 2 or 3 yards easily by just running straight, and he tried to cut back, and then he slipped, and then he ended up not getting the first down. And then Kennesaw, and then they went for it on 4th and 1, and Kennesaw's defense bowed up and stopped it. That was the point in the game when FIU had a chance to stay in it and be in it. And when that turnover happened, because he had a chance to get points, and he made kind of a mental mistake, and he knew he did. Owens did. I mean, he was on the sideline. He knew he made a mistake. That was your chance. And then Kennesaw shut you down on the 4th down, and that kind of took away momentum from FIU. And then Kennesaw went right down and scored. So, and that kind of put them up 2 scores and sort of put it away.
Yeah. And again, I didn't think FIU played the worst game in the world. Keyshawn Owens had a big time performance on the ground. He had a couple plays that it wasn't a huge hole, but it was enough for him to get through. And man, it looked like he was freaking shot out of a cannon. He was running. I mean, explosive. He looked, faster than everybody else on the TV screen. But man, Kennesaw State's offense is just humming right now. Absolutely humming.
And so, is that FIU's first conference loss?
No, they're 1-2 in conference.
They're 1-2. Who else did they lose to? Sorry to put you on the spot there.
No, you're good.
They lost to.
They lost to Delaware.
Okay. Well, here's the thing. They have a head-to-head over Western. So if Western loses again, they'll have a tiebreaker over them. And you just need Jacksonville State to drop a couple. I mean, FIU, they got a good team. I mean, like I said, there was that shift in momentum. Johnny Chaney, their linebacker number 0, is all over the damn field too. I think he had like 13 tackles halfway through the 3rd quarter.
Yeah.
So
total 16.
Yeah, they got some good players. Kennesaw, though, man, they're so similar. I've been talking about this. They're so similar in a way in their geographically, where they're just surrounded by talent. I mean, everywhere in Atlanta, in and around Atlanta, and then over into Alabama if you're Kennesaw, and then of course the South Florida recruiting grounds for FIU. So you're going to be able to get dudes, whether it's guys that don't pan out somewhere else, guys that come back home, guys that are, I mean, you look at Kewan Jenkins, was one of the all-time great high school quarterbacks in Miami. Just, he's undersized. He doesn't fit the bill. You're gonna be able to get guys like that at both of those places. So, both Willie Simmons and Jerry Mack, especially this year, has proven that they'll turn a program around. You saw Willie Simmons' numbers both at Prairie View A&M and FAMU the last couple of years. So, I think positive momentum still for both of those teams. Now, Western Kentucky and La Tech, I mean, how many we had blocked field goals, we had botched field goals, we had punt returns, kick returns, called back returns, blocks in the back, trick plays.
Music City Miracle.
I mean, this was special teams. On one hand, you could say there were some good special teams, right? You're blocking field goals, but then on the other hand, it's like, I mean, my God, guys. And this is why you have to put the ball in the end zone, and you cannot. Too much can happen. This is why, if you're Memphis on Saturday, you just go score. You score when you can score. You don't try to play with the clock. You don't try to settle for stuff. You just run the offense and you score when it happens, because you see what terrible things can happen on a field goal unit. But also did not think anybody knew Maverick McIver was not going to play until Tisdale comes out there.
Well, he was not listed on any injury report that I saw. And then an hour before game time, you start seeing these reports. And then, come out on the broadcast, and he's suited up. He's on the sideline.
Yeah.
The broadcast last night said it was a pec injury. I read on the internet it was a shoulder injury. Not sure which one it was. And then you heard Helton after the game say, he probably could have went, but we felt like we wanted to give him more rest, and had full confidence in Tisdale. And you got to give the young man, the redshirt freshman, credit to be put in a situation like that in a big, meaningful conference matchup on the road. Man, I mean, he had his mistakes for sure, but he made plays with it when it mattered. They ran a lot more quarterback design run for him. He's got those long legs. He took some big shots, kept getting up. And then you talk about, we've saw this past weekend, piss poor clock management at the end of the game. Why are you running? You have a timeout if you're Louisiana Tech and you sprint your field goal unit on while the clock's running down. I'm like, just call a timeout. I don't understand what we're doing here. And then hold on, I forgot about this.
Yeah, keep going.
And
sorry.
then before that play on that drive, when they're trying to keep their one timeout, they decided it was 2nd and I think 4. And they decide to clock the ball. They clock it in shotgun and you lose 4 yards. And now it's 3rd and 8.
Somebody tweeted that should be intentional grounding. And I mean, I kind of agree, because you could just do that if you're in.
Well, it is that you get the result of intentional grounding.
Yeah, but you don't lose.
Yeah, you lose. The if I'm not mistaken, the penalty is where the quarterback intentionally grounded the ball. It's not additional yards. So you're effectively getting the intentional grounding by losing the down. Does that make sense?
Yeah, you lose yards on intentional grounding.
Yeah, because usually it's way far back.
No.
We'll
Hold
look
on.
it up.
This is
This
is bad if I no, because otherwise intentional grounding doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you ground.
It does, but usually the quarterback's like 10 yards back because of his drop.
Yeah, but then who cares if it's
a spot penalty and you lose the down? That's the big thing.
You're just getting it like you got sacked.
Correct.
Versus incompletion. I read you.
And you lose the down. That's the big one, is what really is the yards and the loss of down, where it's not like holding is repeat second down. Either way,
if you quarterbacks would just throw it out of bounds. You guys, I'm sick of you guys trying to keep it on the field. Throw it out of the end zone.
Well, there's all these rules. Anyway,
yeah, I guess you're right. But no, speaking of Tisdale, not only did he come in and play that whole game, but you go and lead a game-tying drive, and then you get into overtime, and the nuts on Tyson Helton to give your quarterback, your backup freshman quarterback, to go for 2 and go for the win. And he runs it and throws a dart to win that thing.
Yeah, and his first and second option were not open. That was just him finding the guy.
Yeah. It's funny. Like, I know a lot of this is like a guy thing when you're watching football. Guys say certain things when they're watching football. We got to get time out here, like talking to each other, talking amongst each other. It's a big 3rd down. We got to, like, I sit and I'm relatively calm. And so I get it. There's a little bit difference when you're on the field and things are flying around and you're trying to make other decisions. But that's why these coaches have a damn highlighted chart now that tells them when to call. They're so analytical. Everything's got to be some science behind everything. This stuff is an art, dude, of clock management, of when to call your timeouts and when to do it. It's not. I hate that we've made our game so analytical about everything. Thanks to your damn Oakland Athletics and Moneyball, we've tried to do it now in every damn sport. We gotta use analytics. These coaches have a chart. A minute 5. I'm down by this many points. I got 2 timeouts. Let's call it. And then we were just wasting time. You gotta just just feel it. Am I wrong here?
No, I think you're spot on. Well, what is it? It's paralysis by analysis, my friend.
That's exactly
it's too much information rather than just going with your gut.
And the other part of it is, to me, is if you're debating it, call the timeout. Because at least the clock has stopped, and now you can decide what you want to do. Now you can call 2 plays, you can call 3 plays, you can do whatever, and the clock has stopped. It's not, because then what happens all the time is they don't call it, and now there's 20 seconds left, and you got 2 timeouts, and you're like, now we throw an incomplete pass, and I'm gonna lose this game and have a timeout in my back pocket that I should have called 45 seconds ago.
Well, it also wasn't like that field goal was a chip shot; it was deep. So I couldn't understand that. But here, this is what you got, Sprouse. Conference USA standings after last night so far. Kennesaw State 3-0, Jack State 3-0, Western Kentucky 4-1, the Liberty Flames is 2-1, Louisiana Tech and 2-2, and then obviously you got the slate tonight. Missouri, Delaware, New Mexico, FIU follows. So looks like it's Kennesaw and Jack Stace to lose.
Yeah.
With Western and Liberty with an outside chance.
Yeah, well, and that is that game I went to, that big Jacksonville State win over Liberty, because Liberty wasn't going to play Western. That sits there with that head-to-head win. Anyway, a couple more games, quite a bit less meaningful in Conference USA tonight. Our Blue Raiders at Delaware are 8.5-point underdogs. Jeff, Minicucci's going to have a field day against us, buddy.
Yes, I would say that.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
All things lead to Minicucci having a big day. The Blue Hens, should roll. 9.5 is a number I feel pretty good about. Take that down to 6.5, and I think that's a pretty sure bet. Nothing that the Blue Raiders have done this year has shown me that we should compete in this game, but they're coming off a bye, and Minicucci did not look. That offense, run game wise, did not look good the last time we saw the Blue Hens. They were one dimensional, so they put them in second and third and long the entire game, and they couldn't convert. Now, the front seven, if you're going to say there's a strength of the Blue Raiders, is that on defense, but I just think Minicucci is going to be too much. You're on the road, you have the travel. Until the Blue Raider offense gets going and gets figured out, being consistent of moving the ball and scoring points, going fast, I don't like our chances here.
We're coming off a bye.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't done the math on it, but so far, as far as games that I've watched, the teams coming off bye weeks have been horrible. They've been worse. So now, if you're middle and you've had a bad start to the season, a bye week can help, because if you can get guys healthy, you can kind of get back to some fundamental things. But yeah, I don't like it. Missouri State at New Mexico State. I'm a little surprised that Missouri State's favored in this one. But it's could go either way. I don't really have confidence in either direction here.
Yeah, either team. This is a coin flip game, right? Who's gonna win it? I think I like Logan Fife better than Clark as far as from a consistent standpoint. He looked really good the last time out throwing the ball, and then he's obviously got the dynamic with his legs. New Mexico State, being at home, I think that gives them a bit of an advantage as well. Just good travel for Missouri State. But the unders, I think our boy Mark T has been sending us all these stats, right?
Yeah.
These team unders, I've never been a fan of unders, mainly because all it takes is a wild quarter and now it's blown. But both these offenses, and then you look at the defense on the other side, I think the unders are going to be in play here. This game.
I like it. Then Thursday night in the Sun Belt, South Alabama at Georgia State. Somebody's going to get their second win of the season. To me, South, they still can run the ball well, and Georgia State still cannot stop the run at all. So I think now whether or not they do this, there's no telling. But I think South's got to rely on the run game, just pound the rock and get out of there. Don't get cute. Georgia State can't stop the run, and you can run it. So lean on that offensive line.
Yeah, don't turn the ball over. South Alabama, I think, is more talented top to bottom with Davenport, Voisin, all those guys. But they have underachieved again in almost every game this year. They'll play tough teams tight, teams they should beat. They let them hang around, and they've lost some. So I'd like to see South Alabama just go on the road, have a definitive, clean game, and prove that you are the team that not only I think we thought they should have been, but I know they've had high expectations too.
Yeah, 100%. I know we've got a whole bunch of voicemails to get to, so let's get to them quickly. 615-900-4286. A couple of them from the weekend, and then a couple new ones, especially regarding our topic of media today.
Group of five guys, Chuck T here. Woo! Are YouTube gentlemen not entertained? JMU Dukes. What an incredible game. straight shootout in the first half. Both teams just battling, getting after it, what you would expect. And then the second half, I don't know if ODU got out of the locker room. I mean, JMU defense held them to, I think, maybe 10 yards in the second half. They're still the only team in FBS through their 7 games have held the team to 300 yards or under 300 yards. Just impressive. And AB3, man, 6 touchdowns. They got a little wagon going up there in Harrisonburg, and man, keep it going. Just super pumped. Massive game. Had to have a good showing. Homecoming crowd just was electric. But got to stay focused. Got a little bit of break before Texas State and on Tuesday here coming up. But just incredible. So happy for the Dukes. Also, so happy for my man Steeple. Coastal's been struggling a little bit, but just outstanding win in Boone. It's a tough place to get a win, but well done, Steeple. Congratulations. Anyway, yeah, just those Dukes, man. Keep it going. Keep it going. Y'all have a good one. Take care. Go Dukes. Go Group of 5, guys.
Appreciate you, Chuck. They looked unstoppable, man. They did. Need them to finish the job. I picked them to win conference.
Me too. And I think they, when you and I talk, there's always certain teams that were like, they might make the playoff. I don't really want said team to make the playoff because I don't think they're that good. The way James Madison's playing right now, especially defensively, but the way the offense looked last week, I'd be real confident in sending a James Madison team somewhere to play.
No question. In all sports, it's not always the best team that makes a playoff run. It's not always the best team that wins it all. A lot of times it's who's peaking at the right time. And I think James Madison, if they can continue this role that they've been on, because they looked a little shaky early on in the year, but now they're starting to get some things figured out.
Oh, Jeff,
see what happens.
You know what, though? The ratings won't be good.
No,
so
they won't be.
We can't put them in.
Could you
never
imagine?
Mind.
Could you imagine?
Disregard.
A freaking home playoff. I know it would never
I
happen,
know.
But in Harrisonburg, Virginia, with those streamers, with that sold out crowd.
I know.
Be cold at that point of the year.
You think that these 80, 60, whatever, 100,000 seat stadiums they are. Like, don't get me wrong, they're loud. But there's something to be said about a place like Harrisonburg or a place like Boise or a place like Boone that just the I know the kids love to say the aura that would be in a place like that, and that crowd would be on a level that's never been seen before, and it'd be cold, and it would not be fun. It would not be fun for especially one of these Southern teams, especially a team like Miami that might have to go somewhere like that if they drop another one, or I don't know, a Georgia or somebody like that. I'm telling you,
what makes college football special is the home field advantage and environment.
They should play it in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, that'd be going.
Pete's
Dragon.
That's what Todd Furman
Group
probably
of
wants.
5 guys, Josh Bevel here, calling in on my way back from the borough. We beat them kitty cats. We're in the win column yet again. And Murph, you picked State. I mean, what are we doing here?
You're welcome.
We know the Eagles are going to win. State's not going to walk into our house and think they're going to win the game. They're one of the sorriest programs in the history of college sports. They're terrible. They've got no fans. Their fans don't exist, and they ruined a perfectly good baseball stadium in Turner Field. The hideous stadium known to man. Thanks to them, there's nothing good about Georgia State. They suck. They can suck it. Eagles are on top again, baby. Georgia State, suck it. God bless the Group of 5 guys. Hail Southern.
That was the old reverse jinx, Josh. You're welcome.
Well, and I didn't go. That's what it is now. I'm 1-4, so I need to stay away.
It's you.
I saw they announced the Gata Jam roster.
Yeah.
Bailey Zimmerman is the headliner. I don't really. Yeah, I gotta ask with country music. I text my wife. You know this guy? I knew Cole Swindell, but I didn't know the other guys. Anyway,
All right, we got two-parter by Iverson Reed.
Group of 5 guys, Iverson Reed, Coastal alumnus. 10.5-point dog, by the way. Scheduled for homecoming, by the way. That's what they thought this was. Don't ever schedule us for homecoming again. That is disrespectful. We might be down this year, but we still know how to beat. We still know how to beat SIB, SIB, School and Boone. We don't even refer to them as what they're called, but you know, major win for Coach Beck. Strangely enough, despite some of his woes, he's 3-0 against App State, so that's kind of funny to think about. But huge win, first back-to-back win we've had since last season. Samari Collier, I think he'll definitely be the guy going forward, depending on the status of Scott Hudson. But I do think that right now currently I'd say he's better as a runner than a passer, but I think that'll be something that'll be worked on heading into this bye week. And yeah, don't look now, 3-1 in the East. Most people, including myself and fan base, kind of wrote this team off, but here we are. So good to have back-to-back wins. Another thing to point out, right now we have the best record FBS-wise in the state of South Carolina. Clemson lost today, or Oklahoma put BTA on South Carolina. So yeah, right now we're FBS-wise got the best record. I know you guys don't really talk FCS, but y'all should really look out for Presbyterian College. Those guys, they're in the Pioneer League, so no scholarships, but they're in the top 20, 7-0. Like they just won today. So yeah, a lot of surprising stuff going on, but definitely a good week to win. Definitely will make heading to church tomorrow a lot happier. But thank you for all you guys do covering the Group of 5. God bless. God bless the Group of 5 guys. Shout out. Group of 5 guys, Iverson Reed, two-parter here, rare two-parter. Just crossed my mind. This entire week, those people in Boone have been talking about how their rivals consist of Georgia Southern, Marshall, maybe JMU here and there, but they still look down on us. They still look down on us. Like it's 2019 and Coastal is in like year 2 or year 3 of the FBS transition. Brother, it is 2025, year of our Lord. We have won the last 5 of the 6. We are 4-0 in these past 4 years. You want to keep treating us like we're not a rival? Okay. I'll take that. Because that hurdle's been cleared. Since 2020, that hurdle has been cleared. Now the next thing is just having to figure out how to beat JMU, because those guys, they have been our buzzsaw. We just gotta figure out how to dismantle the buzzsaw. But that's not here nor there. I'm talking about SIB. I'm talking about School and Boone. They want to keep not looking at us as a rival. All right, so be it. We'll just keep winning. We'll just keep winning. We'll just keep winning. Makes it all the better that we spoiled their homecoming too. And there was a video of Coastal trying to plant the flag on the block. And let's try not to do that. I mean, I personally don't mind it, but it's like let's just not do that. But once again, thanks for all you guys do. Go Group of 5 guys. God bless. Shout out.
Appreciate you, Iverson. I mean, it's not really a rival if it's one-sided.
Whoa. mean, it's a rival if you got flag planting and post game brawls. I mean, that's definitely a rival. Yeah, I mean, he said it. What can you do? Also, yeah, Steeple. Iverson has really, yeah, you're in there. He has picked up your flag and run with it. And then dropping the Presbyterian College, the blue hose in there too.
I know.
Yeah. Anyway, what else we got, Jeff?
All right, let's go. Let's check back with Cody in Memphis.
Oh no.
Well, group 5 guys. It's your resident Memphis Tiger fan. I think the only one. It's Cody. I called last week for the first time, talking about had some concerns going to Birmingham to play UAB. Pre-game, we hear Jalen Kitna not playing. This looked like, okay, we're going to be all right. We're coming off of a bye week. And then the defense rolls out, and they let the backup quarterback just throw all over us, couldn't get off the field, couldn't get a stop. I think Memphis possessed the ball for less than 3 minutes in the first half. Then Brendan Lewis goes down. That fourth quarter, it was a little inspiring there at the end, and then the fall starts at the goal line. You've got a top 10, statistically, a top 10 rushing game in college football. And granted, we don't have any timeouts, but you got enough time when you're on the 1-yard line to at least run the ball one time. One time. Couldn't do it. So frustrating, but it's typical Ryan Silverfield. I was going to call Saturday night, and I said, you know what? This would be R-rated if I call it. Then I thought maybe Sunday. Blood pressure still hadn't came down, so I'm calling it. It's Monday now. My blood pressure is still not gone down. But you hear people talk about when Memphis was 6-0 going into that game, people talk about, Ryan Silverfield's name attached to some jobs. This is the reason Ryan Silverfield will not be going to a Power 4 job anytime soon. It's every year. There is a game like this that makes absolutely no sense. You got a guy on the other sideline who had never been a head coach at any level, his first time as an interim, goes out and completely outclasses, outcoaches Ryan Silverfield and takes all the wind out of the sails. I mean, Memphis' schedule, you've got Navy, USF, Tulane, all at home. Memphis could always afford to have lost one of those games. You could afford to lose one game in conference, but that game cannot be UAB. So now, I've lost hope. Brendan Lewis is out. We don't know for how long. We're still waiting on word from that. A.J. Hill, the true freshman quarterback, came in. He looked fine. I'll give him props for that. I mean, given the situation, a true freshman stepping in, playing the way that he did. Granted, he had a bad interception that he threw late in the game, but recovered and got us in a position to win. And the coaches just, I can't explain it other than it's the Ryan Silverfield special. Still going to go to the. Hey guys, Cody again. Sorry. That voicemail went long. Look, I was going to finish by saying I'm still going to the USF game. If you guys are coming, please reach out. I would love to meet you guys. The tailgate on Tiger Lane is probably not going to be what it could have been, but I still think that it'll be a good time. It is early morning, right? So to come out, have some mimosas, maybe some beers, whatever you guys are into, would love to meet you. I don't know if y'all have my number or not from this voicemail line, but I'll drop it here for you guys. It's 731-434-7916. Hope you guys come out still. Could still be a good game. Obviously depends on whether or not Brendan Lewis is going to play. But hope you guys come, have a good time, and maybe get to see a big-time Tigers victory to really throw a wrench into the American title race. Thanks.
Appreciate it, Cody. I know Sprouse has been talking about going there.
Yeah, I'm coming. Barring it, like I did see forecasted rain. Barring like a forecasted hurricane, I'm gonna come up. I'll be there. I'll probably get there Friday evening, just enough time to, grab a bite, and then I'll link up with you. I mean, I don't know about giving your phone number out to the the whole world there if that was what that was. But you know, yeah, dude, we'll link up for sure. The thing about a Memphis win now, throwing a wrinkle in the American race, is this is what we said on Monday. It puts guess who right back in the mix of making the playoff, and that's the Broncos of Boise State. I'm telling you, you knew it was gonna. I feel like maybe we said it on the show. I feel like you and I definitely talked about it.
Yeah.
Just watch, this will happen.
Here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. You get 2-loss American champ, 2-loss Boise.
Oh, the American goes, yeah.
You get
because of the head-to-head with South Florida.
You get a 1-loss James Madison, pal. They're it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. No. I agree. That'll be debatable. I think a 2-loss, depending on who it is.
Yeah.
Because South Florida has a decent brand, and they have the win at an SEC school. Same with Memphis, probably, if Memphis turns it around.
The Arkansas win.
Because then you could look at Memphis UAB, which I still think it was like a little fluky type of deal. And everybody else has afforded one fluky loss. Miami's not getting, they didn't even drop out of the top 10 for losing to Louisville.
That's true.
Alabama barely dropped after losing to Florida State.
How much does that Louisville win help
James Madison? 100% it does. The other thing I wanted to touch on, Cody, is they did have time to run the ball with a minute left until they freaking stood there for 30 seconds and didn't run a play at all. And then they jumped.
Wow.
Have you ever stood in like, I don't approve of that guy jumping false start, but do you know how hard it is for a lineman to sit in that stance that long? I mean, it's difficult.
Yeah.
Especially that late in the game, you start cramping up, or
you're exhausted.
But anyway, we gotta get going here.
Let's go check in with James.
Cody, we'll link up, buddy. Slide in the DM if you're on Twitter. Slide in the DM. We'll figure something out.
What is up, group of 5 guys? It is your friendly JMU fan, Grant Horan, and I am calling you because you know what the Dukes did? They laid up a good old 60 burger on them Old Dominion University Monarchs, because you know what? We run the Royal Rivalry, baby. You already knew that, though. I didn't need to tell you that twice. Here's the thing. A few weeks ago, I called talking about the Louisville loss and how, of a bummer that was for us JMU fans. But I said, if Louisville can actually pull themselves together and be a comprehensive team, be a benefit to us. And now, given that we're living in an era of quote-unquote quality losses, right, that Louisville loss all of a sudden looks a heck of a lot better after this weekend and then winning up in Miami. So here's my question to you all, right? Let's just say hypothetically, let's say USF and Memphis, they all go do their things, right? Let's just say like an American conference team is automatically in a bid. Is it theoretically possible that JMU goes 11-1, wins their conference championship game, right? So they're 12-1 with a single loss to that Louisville team on the road, right? And let's just say Louisville goes and plays well the rest of the season, right? Is there a semblance of a chance, an outset possibility that they say, you know what, let's give this little JMU Duke team a little at-large bid into the college football playoff? Now, I get that's probably 1% chance, marginal at best. But hey, man, just the hypothetical I want to throw out there. I want to get your thoughts on it, guys. Appreciate y'all.
Before we get to your next call, because he called back about the media thing.
Ain't going to be no at-large. There's a top 5. You'll be a top 5 best conference champion.
The problem is they're not ranked.
Yeah, but if they keep winning, they will be. And if South Florida
would
loses,
hope so. You would hope so. Well, no, I think he was saying if you have like a 1 loss.
If South Florida keeps rolling,
if the American champ is the rep, what are the odds of James Madison's getting the at large? And I'll say this: better be rooting like hell for Navy to take down Notre Dame, because Notre Dame is
correct.
They kind of have that automatic independent in the playoff, but they got 2 losses right now. They get 1 more. I don't know how you justify a 3-loss Notre Dame
Yeah.
team to make the playoff, and that opens up
Well,
another spot.
and then you also you got to be rooting for the Big 12 to implode. Like you got to root for BYU to lose a couple. You got to
Texas
root
Tech.
for Texas Tech to lose again. Arizona State probably to lose again, which that's what we should have
Virginia.
had last year had Darian Mensah's agent not gotten involved.
Yeah. Well,
And
the
then
problem is
then
the ACC,
the other
Georgia Tech is undefeated still. You have Miami with the 1 loss, Virginia with 1 loss.
Yeah, what you need to hope for is in the ACC it'll be tough because if if Miami loses again, whoever they lose to is going to magically jump into the mix.
Depends,
Georgia
though.
Tech,
It all depends because we saw that last year where it was like a random ACC team that beat
SMU.
Yeah.
You could because Clemson won the ACC at like
did.
9-3 last
Yep.
year, and you could. The other part of it is, Georgia Tech. This is probably what you need to hope for is.
Are you frozen? Oh, I thought he was thinking. We'll see when he comes back in. But let's go ahead and get to Grant's second part because he talked about the media and all that stuff. And we'll come back to it.
What is up, group of 5 guys? It is your friendly JMU fan, Grant Horn. I know I haven't got to my other voicemail. You're probably listening to in this upcoming Wednesday episode here, but I'm scrolling through X today, and I see some of the most ludicrous takes, right, from Todd from here, talking about it's great that we have college football parity until we have USF versus Georgia Tech in the first round. No one's going to watch. And statements like this from media pundits is just so bizarre and asinine to me. Especially, again, for individuals like yourselves, me, everyone, people who love the group of 5, love our Sun Belt, and to see individuals say they care about the sport that is college football, but then just falter down to like, oh, we only care about the good brands, and, oh, when X team is good, then college football is good. What are we even doing here? And it is so insane to me that there's this ineptitude across the higher level of college football that they can't take a look at college basketball and see this beautiful thing that happens every March where you have teams come out of the woodwork who apparently would have no right to be there and because, they'll never win a championship truly, so why are we going to let, Drake play in it, right? Oh, why is, Indiana State going to play in it? Because we know they're never going to really win the, big one, so they shouldn't even be in the field. What are we doing? It's just so crazy to me that we could have people in charge of this thing that we all truly love making decisions and trying to narrow this thing down to these two, quote unquote super leagues. I just really can't believe that's not how college football is. America loves underdogs. America loves capitalism in this age of parity. That's the whole point. If we have a smaller school who has an NIL collective and all these fans put their money into it and they build a great team, that team should be rewarded. Sorry, that means your teams up here on the high hills fall off because you don't have the resources, you don't find the coach, you don't have the dedication. That's just how the world works. It's just so crazy that we could live in this wonderful capitalist country, but then when it comes to true capitalism and parity, everyone's like, well, no, we got to protect our big old monopolies here. We got to protect the schools. Anyway, guys, I'm curious if you think there's any way that we save this beautiful sport that we have, this college football. If there's a way to continue this grassroots movement around G5 and these, mid-major schools being competitive, getting the likes and the recognition they deserve. Because, I don't want to see this thing fall down the drain. And last thing, I'll respond to Steeple here really quick. Coastal Carolina is going to get their ass chewed by the Duke come November 29th. Mark my words.
Oh, great call, Grant. Great call. Yeah, I mean, we're trying. We're trying to save it.
Yeah. Dude. I mean, there's a few. Maybe we'll get our guy Josh Pate as the commissioner, and he hires us as like ambassadors for the sport. But yeah, it's frustrating. Sorry, dude, they've been digging up our neighborhood, putting some new internet things in, and it just goes out. I'll be hardlined in, and it just goes out. What I was saying earlier, speaking of JMU real quick, is you probably need to root for Georgia Tech to win the ACC, but get absolutely smacked when they play Georgia. That's probably what you need. If you're James Madison. Anyway.
Let's get to our last one.
What's up, boys? So I'm not calling to talk about how the Cajuns lost to one of the worst defenses they've played this year and could only put up 10 points. I'm not going to talk about it. I'm not going to talk about how we rushed the ball for over 200 yards, but for some reason we think that we have Peyton Manning in the backfield as a quarterback when we try to throw deep passes. And we don't try to use his athletic ability to get the ball out sooner and run the ball better. I'm not going to talk about that. I'm not going to talk about how our defense gets 5 turnovers in the past 2 games, get no points off of turnovers. I'm not even going to talk about how, for some reason, in 2-minute drill going into half, our head coach puts in Walker Howard, who had an oblique injury and has been out for 6 games. And for some reason, he put him in a 2-minute drill, and Walker throws a pick, and Southern Miss kicks a field goal because they have an extra possession going into the halftime. I'm not going to talk about that because the Cajuns football program is abysmal, and it's not worth the effort. Knew we were going to lose, so I'm not going to talk about it. What I'm going to talk about is my wife made some of the best gumbo she's ever made.
Oh,
I think it's
man.
her best batch of gumbo. She doesn't believe it, but it's the best batch of gumbo
Well done.
she's ever made. I devoured it. She's allergic to shrimp, so we don't have shrimp gumbo. We have chicken and sausage
Ooh.
gumbo. It is amazing. Orgasmic even. You'll probably cream your pants. So that was the highlight of this Saturday. I don't know what else happened, but that was the best part of my Saturday. Sad that UAB had to beat Memphis, and the Group of 5 missed the College Game Day appearance this year. That's really frustrating. But hey, happy for those guys at UAB. Just to answer you guys' question, why my wife's cooking hasn't gotten me to like 400 to 500 pounds. I'm in the military. Secretary of War Pete Hegseth doesn't want any fat bodies in his military, so I don't want to get kicked out, so I got to stay in shape. And I stay motivated. So that's the only reason why I'm not 500 pounds. If not, I would give up physical fitness altogether and just eat my wife's cooking all day. You guys are awesome. Nothing else matters in football. God bless Group of 5. God bless Group of 5 guys. Go Cajuns, I guess.
Terry, you're the best, dude. Appreciate you. Pal.
That's great stuff. That was the last one,
That's
Jeff.
it.
Well, we better get out of here before my computer completely shuts off. Look, hey, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. If you like the show, make sure you hit follow on all the social platforms at Group of 5 Guys. Subscribe to the channel, YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, the Believe Network. Tell your family and friends all about us. That, Grant, is how we save college football. Tell everybody you're a James Madison fan. Don't say, well, my small school is this and my big school is this. Nope. We are Middle Tennessee fans. We are Middle Tennessee alum. But hope you have a great rest of the week. Enjoy some midday Conference USA tonight, some Sun Belt Thursday, and then a couple big ones over the weekend. We'll see you Friday morning. We're out of here.